What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 159 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my dining room. And today I want to give you all the NFL Wild Card playoff picks, who I think is going to win and lose. In Week 18, I finished the season 9-7. And overall in the regular season, my wins and loss total would be 150 wins, 119 losses, and 2 ties. So let's see how I do in the playoffs. The playoff picture. We have the AFC, the number 1 seed. The Chiefs have the bye. Number 2 seed is the Bills. The number 3 seed is the Bengals. Number 4 seed is the Jaguars. The 5th seed is the Chargers. And the 6th seed is the Ravens. And the 7th and final seed is the Dolphins. As you look at the NFC, it's the number 1 seed that has the bye is the Eagles. Number 2, the Niners. 3, Vikings. 4, Bucks. 5, Cowboys. 6, Giants. And 7, Seahawks. So we'll start with the Saturday games. Tomorrow kicks off. We have the number 7 seed Seahawks taking on the number 2 Niners. And this is interesting. The Seahawks and Niners always play each other tough. The Niners actually swept Seattle this season. And I do see stats where a team that beats a regular season, that wins 2 times in the regular season, sometimes struggles in that third game if they meet in the playoffs. But I have to go with the Niners here. I just think they have way too much on offense, especially with their running game and their receivers. And just their tight end, George Kittle, is really stepping it up since his injury. But it comes down to really Brock Purdy. This is his first time starting in the playoffs. Can he handle those bright lights as a rookie? I think he's going to be able to do it and get the win. He's going up against a Seahawks team that has a good offense. They can run the ball. Their defense is suspect, and they're really well coached by Pete Carroll, who I think is the coach of the year. But I got to roll with the Niners here. I'm going to take the Niners to win this game. I'm going to go 31-21. The next game on Saturday, the 5th seed Chargers travel to take on the 4th seed Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Jaguars, they look dead in this season. They were 3-7, but they finished 9-8. And they're a red-hot team right now. They're really well coached with Doug Peterson. He won a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. So he's been in this predicament a lot of times. This is Trevor Lawrence's first playoff start. And I think he's going to look real good in this game. And speaking of first playoff starts, we have Justin Herbert on the Chargers also make his first playoff start. The Chargers were actually smoked by the Jaguars 38-0 earlier in this season, but that's when Justin Herbert, his ribs were banged up, his receivers, his offense, his defense, they just all weren't healthy, but now they're a lot healthier. It should be different this time. I think it's going to be different. And what really hurts the Chargers here, though, is their head coach, Brandon Staley. He's known for not being the smartest guy. He started all of his starters in that game against the Broncos the other week that was pretty much meaningless, and their number 2 receiver, who's a stud, Mike Williams, got hurt. He had a back injury, and he's missing 3 weeks, so that could be detrimental, and we'll see what happens. This game could really go either way, but I'm going to roll with the Chargers here. I'm going to take them to win this one 28-27. I think it's going to be real close. It could really go either way. Next is the Sunday games. The number 7 seed Dolphins take on the number 2 seed Bills. And the Bills and Dolphins split at 1-1 this season. And the Bills just have so much energy. They won so many games straight. They're playing for their safety, Damar Hamlin, who needed CPR in the field, suffered a crazy injury. I think he's going to be there in the building, and the energy is just going to be nuts. I don't see how the Dolphins are going to compete with them at all, especially because the Dolphins don't have Tua playing. They have their 7th-round rookie quarterback, Skylar Thompson, playing. He gets the start. I just think it's going to be a really rough day for the Dolphins. A lot of people said this is a TCU or a Georgia versus TCU game that just happened where Georgia smoked TCU 65-7. And I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I definitely see the Bills winning this game pretty conveniently. I mean, the Dolphins could pretty much win this game if they just get a bunch of turnovers and somehow emulate an offense. I just don't see it, though, at all. I got to roll with the Bills here, 34-17. Next, the number 6 seed Giants take on the number 3 seed Vikings. So the Vikings beat the Giants a few weeks ago in a very close game. It was 27-24 in favor of the Vikings. And the Vikings, that's been their motto all year. They win very close games. And, they really don't put teams away. But when they lose, they get absolutely blown out. They get slaughtered. But I don't see that happening to them, especially with the Giants. The Giants, they turned the ball over in that game a couple times, and they really struggled on offense. But now they're getting healthier this time in this game, and they could really win this game without turning the ball over. They get Saquon Barkley going, and if their defense hits Kirk Cousins, gets him rattled up. However, I got to roll with the Vikings here. I think the Vikings are going to win by 3 again. I'm going to go 30-27 for the Vikings. Next is the number 6 seed Ravens taking on the number 3 seed Bengals. So these two split the season series at 1 apiece. And the Bengals are just red hot right now. I don't know what else to say. They're very tough to stop. They're really feeling themselves. Joe Burrow, great player. His offense is amazing. His defense has really been stepping it up. And as for the Ravens, Lamar looks like he's not playing this game. He went on Twitter and even said, I'm not going to be playing. So they're going to have Tyler Huntley starting. And the Ravens just are not going to look that great on offense. Their defense, I think, is going to keep them in it. I don't think the Ravens are going to get blown out because of their defense, but just on offense, they really have nothing to work with. They have a running game. They have a good tight end, but they need a little bit more than that. And I just see the Ravens not really being able to win this game. I do see it being close, though, like I said. So I'm going to go with the Bengals 26-20. The final game is the Monday night game. You have the 5th seed Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, traveling to the 4th seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady is 7-0 all-time against the Cowboys. And even on a down year, Tom Brady still is very lethal, especially come playoff time. He's always locked in, so it's very, very scary to see. The Bucs beat the Cowboys earlier in this season in Week 1, 19-3. That was the game Dak got hurt. He hurt his hand, was out for a few weeks. Speaking of Dak, he really needs to avoid the turnovers. Ever since he's been back, he's been turning the ball over a lot. Some of them aren't his fault. Some of them are bounced off the receiver's hands, but there are some turnovers, some interceptions he throws where I'm just like, what the hell was that? And so he really needs to clean that up. He needs to clean that up ASAP. The defense needs to hit Tom Brady. This game really scares me, man. It really does. I'm not going to lie, because Tom Brady in playoff time, doesn't matter how bad the team is, they could really get things going. The Bucs have a really good run game, or they don't have a good run game. They could stop the run really good, and they're going to force Prescott to throw a lot, and hopefully he just doesn't throw interceptions. The Cowboys need to shut down the run game of the Bucs, which hasn't been good, but Leonard Fournette went over 100 in Week 1. So we'll see. This game is really a toss-up. I'm pretty nervous for it, but obviously I have to pick my Cowboys here. I'm going Cowboys 19-16. So those were all my picks for the wild card round. My upset, I think I chose all the favorites. The Chargers are favorited, but I could see the Jags winning this one. Like I said, I'm picking the Chargers, but, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags win just because how hot they are right now. And my lock is the Bills over the Dolphins, because there's just no way I see Skylar Thompson going into Buffalo and getting that win. So those are it for my wild card picks. Thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on my Instagram, and have a great night and watch some football tomorrow.